It's Monday night, and you know what that means. The drivers of the American Sim Racing Tour come back to Turn 1 to bring you some super speedway action. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for tuning in here tonight. We've got, we're going to have another great race under our belt here. I guarantee it. Drivers are getting gridded up here just after qualifying, as it is coming to, or it came to a close. And tonight, yeah, I tell you what, it's gonna be pretty fun as they move over to the Gen 6 cars here on the iRacing service at Daytona. Again, under the lights. If you haven't already, if you haven't watched any races with this group, I tell you what, it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit of a different feel. These drivers take on super speedway racing action here each and every week on Turn 1, alternating between Talladega and Daytona in different cars. Over the last couple of weeks, we had the Gen 4 cars, and this week we graduate. I'm going to call it graduate up to the Gen 6, and super speedway racing is anybody's game. As we've seen over the last couple of weeks, a lot of exciting racing right here on Monday nights. Let's take a quick look, as we talked about, at the schedule. Tonight, we are here at Daytona. We're going to alternate back to Talladega, and then in 2 weeks, back to Daytona in the trucks, and then Xfinity in the next-gen car. So a lot of really cool racing coming up here in the next couple weeks on Turn 1. If you haven't already done so, make sure you get connected via any social media, their Facebook, Twitch, on YouTube. Subscribe, like, follow. Do what you need to do to get connected with us, because you're not going to want to miss a single week of racing action. Pulling off of pit road. Our drivers on the front row: James Waring, Sean Stevens, Chris Akers, Kyle Smith, Tyler Hurt, your top 5. Those are some familiar names up front. I'm sure we'll be talking about those guys quite a bit here tonight. As a reminder of the format, these drivers do have one fast repair in the bank. So they've got to be real meticulous about how they use that. Don't want to burn that too early. It is super speedway racing, as we were talking about, is a great equalizer. Everybody could, well, not everybody could win, but, well, really everybody could win here in a super speedway race. It's all about being there at the end, being there when it matters, but you've got to have a car to do it. And these 32 drivers out here are going to try to get it done here tonight. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in. To see everybody showing up on YouTube tonight. I see a couple folks over on Twitch, and hello to my wife for tuning in over there. Appreciate her being keeping the Twitch game alive and rolling. And obviously, we got the folks over on Facebook saying hello this evening as well. In the meantime, these drivers are going to tighten those virtual belts and get ready to go racing here. What a great Daytona 500. What was an interesting Daytona 500, that's for sure. And you just thought we were done with super speedway racing at the beach. Well, no, sir. We're going to be doing it one more time. The pace truck's going to duck down pit road. James Waring, Sean Stevens. The Gen 6 car with American Sim Tour is live at Daytona. Clean starts with a pretty decent gap on that inside line. That's James Waring, Chris Akers getting together early. Single file top 3, but it looks like Sean Stevens is going to make a run on the outside. All 3 of these drivers, common names we've heard up front over the last couple weeks of racing action here on Turn 1. As they head down through 3 and 4 for the first time. These cars just now starting to really get up to some speed. James Waring, our pole sitter, is going to lead lap 1. Chris Akers, that 29 car, right to the bumper with Dalton Gibson running P3 right now. Sean Stevens, Ethan Hurst, your top 5, or Ethan Horst, your top 5 rather. John Bell, Kirby Caputa, Kyle Smith, Carl Lingley, your top 10. As they're all kind of scattered out here. Everybody's given a lot of room here tonight in the early going. Field really spread out here, basically into 3 chunks. This big car gap here for the first 15 or so drivers. And then a small pack, and then another pretty big pack of another 10 cars or so here. Then it looks like we had a group start off of pit road, which is a strategy to definitely take here at these super speedways if you want to make sure there's no point in rushing it. They know there's going to be some cautions here tonight. Why not try to save and preserve and be there? Oh, we got cars sideways down the backstretch already. And that second pack trying to avoid several cars into the wall. Looks like John Bell's going to be included in that. Hunter Smith is going to slide by, but a couple others there involved. That's going to bring the first caution out. And as we were just talking about, caution's going to happen. Doesn't matter if you're going to start on pit road or not. You're going to get caught up, and there you have it. We're under caution for the first time on lap 4 with James Waring, your leader. Little sideways action. Let's take a look here. And unfortunately, just a turn, just not really anything that could happen. Or everything that could happen did there. Down that backstretch bump. Watch that outside line. Unfortunately, just gets turned. And that is going to bring out the first caution here tonight. Looks like we may have a little bit of a hiccup with our replay system. We certainly do. But nothing we can't contend with. As the leaders come down pit road. This replay, again, part of an issue we're having here, but that's okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back. Our leaders just now coming off of pit road. Chris Akers leading, Dalton Gibson, Sean Stevens. Your leaders off of pit road for the first time. Under caution, lap 5. You're watching turn 1. Let's take a look here at the American Sim. I'm sorry, let's take yeah, there we go. I was waiting for that to pop up. The American Sim Racing Tour and points. Daniel Holloway with 120 got the win sticker on the board there. And leading into points. Chris Akers, Sean Stevens, Anthony Pauston, Dalton Gibson, all top 5 in points. Again, all of these matters. These drivers do collect these points based on stage break and finish, or stage finishes and race finishes. So a lot on the line there outside of just wins here with this group. And again, it's pretty competitive racing. If you like what you see, I know we've had a lot of viewers who are really interested in potentially signing up or going out there racing with the ASR crew. Feel free to connect with us here on Turn 1. We'll be more than happy to get you set up with the right people to go super speedway racing here on Monday nights. Daniel Holloway, hey, we see you in the chat. It's going to be a new points leader. Daniel, do we not have you in the race tonight? Oh, no. Well, that'll shake things up. Glad to see you're tuning in, though, over on Facebook. Appreciate you being there. So these drivers get ready to go back. Green flag racing here on lap number 7. Pace truck lights are off. Off of pit road, Dalton Gibson able to make up a couple spots. Chris Akers up front. Sean Stevens, Ethan Horst. Our pole sitter, James Waring, back in P5. Those drivers that hung back on the start or started on pit road, they're all grouped together now as we go back green flag racing here at Daytona under the lights. Akers on the bottom with the push from the 27. Stevens right to the bumper while the outside lane starting to come together in that 15 and 7 machine. That's Horst. He's up 4 spots. Following Gibson. As Gibson's going to get clear on the outside. Going to try and lead as they roll through turn 3. Oh, but has to get off the bumper hard. A big checkup on that outside line. That's going to leave Gibson vulnerable. Here comes the 29. The 27 with the push. Even as they come across the stripe. Back down into turn number 1. Oh, that 15 car. That's Horst on the outside. Getting pretty loose as it loads up in the corner. In the meantime, Akers. And big check up in the middle of the track there. Somebody got squirrely and almost lost it. And just like that, Gibson's going to slide down, take the lead off the nose of the 29. He's going to bring the 15 with him. That bottom line now going to dominate here as the top 4 single file as they roll through the tri-oval. That start-finish line right in the middle here at Daytona. 1, 2, 3, single file, 7:15, 29, 27. Sean Stevens scored 4th. Kyle Smith scored 5th right now on that outside line in that petty blue. Oh, and the caution's going to be out again. We've got several cars sideways down the back stretch. Jacob Greenlee involved. See if we can get a replay here of tonight's act, what happened there. Looks like Greenlee got into the back of the 77. Everybody kind of had to split out there. Unfortunate here tonight. Another caution out, going to collect a couple good cars early. In the meantime, Dalton Gibson going to be Scourger leader. Chris Akers, Ethan Horst, Kyle Smith, Sean Stevens, your top 5. Gonna step away for just a moment, get a mention from our sponsors. You're watching Turn 1.
let you down. These late nights turn to days. Don't wanna let you down. With each breath we give away, it'll never be the same. I'm chasing somebody who won't ever ease the pain, but I don't want half of your heart, heart, heart. You can have it back if it's only half of your heart. If it's only half of your heart. I feel like I'm afraid of the only things I can't change.
Back racing here at Daytona, just a lap or so. With Ambrose Nebel out front. I don't believe he came down pit road. Doesn't look like he did. He is going to stay out this time. Same with Rob Dubadek. He has not come down pit road this last time. That's going to leave some new blood up front with Ethan Horst right at P2. I'm sorry, P3. Chris Akers, Eddie Morris, your top five. These drivers get doubled up as they get the one-to-go signal from the pace truck. Mr. Holloway, yeah, do we see that message down in Daytona still? Unable to come back until later this week. Well, congratulations on getting to enjoy some action down there at Daytona. The weather's been a little funky, but hey. I don't know if I can think of worse places to be, that's for sure. Drivers coming down through 1 and 2. Again, Nebel, Duvadek, Horst, Akers, Morris, your top five. Guy Braco, Dalton Gibson, John Bell, Sean Stevens, Chase Greer, your top 10. As they get ready to go back green flag racing here. After our second or third caution of the evening. I know our first, that counter is not correct. We've obviously had a few more cautions than that, but that's okay. The back of the pack is pretty feisty here tonight. If you've missed the last couple weeks, it's been Gen 4. Cup cars. A whole different animal in these Gen 6. As these drivers get accustomed to it, wouldn't be surprised we see a little bit of back and forth. Pace truck's going to dip down pit road. Duvadek, Nebel. Green flag back out here at Daytona on the front row. Duvadek on the outside, got a good push on the 29. Akers with a shove. Nebel on the bottom's got 15 and Horst. Oh, cars in the wall already. And they're wrecking in the back once again. That's going to mess a good portion of the field back there up. Several drivers involved, others having to take evasive maneuvers. Unfortunately, another wreck here. Coming down the backstretch. See if we can get a replay. We're having a little bit of a replay issue, but that's all right. Let's see what we can get. All in front of this group. Not sure exactly where that started, but definitely towards the rear of the field there. Gonna collect a couple more drivers here. Let's try something real quick if we could. Nope, that's not gonna do it for us, but that's okay. There, yeah, we have just a couple cars getting into the back of each other and then blocking the track. Everybody kind of cleans the track up there. Unfortunately, going to bring that caution out once again. Your leaders up front, Rob Duvidek, Duvidak, Chris Akers, Ambrose Neville, and a couple folks going to come down pit road. Everybody's coming here in the top 10. Oh, with a fake out there with Duvidek. Guy Bricko's going to stay out. John Bell's going to stay out. That's going to shake up the top 10. Eddie Morris, Chase Greer. In the meantime, Chris Akers and others all coming down pit road for what I imagine is going to be a splash of fuel here. Half the field comes, half the field stays. We're going to step away here for just a moment. You're watching the you're watching turn 1. Robert Duvidek, Guy Braco, John Bell, Eddie Morris, Chase Greer, your top 5 as the pace truck lights are off. Getting ready to go back green flag racing here once again on lap number 20. The American Sim Racing Tour. Get ready to come back. Green flag here at Daytona. A bunch of drivers electing to stay out has shaken up the top 10 with a lot of super speedway racing. A lot of folks know that maybe for a lot of folks try anyway or have the thought of maybe the front is the safest place to be. And right now, I bet the 1 to 99, the 3 into 5, the 69 to 42, they're probably thinking that. Because we've had a couple cautions here. Not even 20 laps in. See the 3 get really squirrely there on the bottom behind Duvidek. That is John Bell. In the meantime, 1 of Guy Braco out front. Really strong pull there. He's going to be credited with leading that lap. He's going to have the push for the 8 car of Morris right there with him as these cars are squirrely as they load up into turn 1. Side by side as they come down the backstretch. I believe we just had another car in the wall back there. A good ways back. We've got a little 3-wide action back there for about 10th or so. Some of those paint schemes look familiar. That's the 29 of Acres, the 34 machine. Who is that in the 34? Or is that the 39? That may, yep, maybe 39. They'll have a little more wall contact. These drivers looking for a place to run. In the meantime, Akers outside the 38. Trying to make that third line work. No help, but he's going to get a push. In the meantime, go back up front. And that 8 car. Oh, the 69 into the wall. These drivers are having a hard time with these Gen 6s. In the meantime, Eddie Morris out front. Guy Braco now leading off the bumper of Rob Duvidek. And the 1 car is going to be credited with leading this lap by. Side by side, 2 by 2. But really no organization to this. We've seen some really tight racing, 2 and 3 wide out of these drivers the last couple weeks. This tells me these cars must be a really big handful for these drivers tonight as Braco, Duvidek. 1, 2. With Morris and Bell starting to double up for 3rd. We see the 29 of Acres settle in just a little bit there back there. He was trying to make that outside lane work by himself earlier. Now settled in around 12th. In the meantime, Eddie Morris, Guy Braco trying to hang on. Those front rows, that 69 car really hanging it off wide as they roll into 1. They're going to have to catch up with a car coming down the backstretch. Oh, more cars turned. The 38's going to get in the wall. That was near calamity midway through the pack. With a car on the apron, that could have been rough. But they're going to save it. That's going to split the pack up a little bit. More cars wrecking. And that's going to bring out the caution. As they come down the front stretch. Caution's going to be out here for the 4th time on lap number 22. Unfortunately, just these Gen 6 machines look like they are a handful for some of these drivers. In the meantime, Eddie Morris, DJ Madish, Guy Braco, Tyler Hurt, and Rob Duvidek. Your top 5? That unfolded there on the front stretch almost in slow motion. Let's go back and see if we can take a look. Oh, it all started here. Back just behind Duvedek. Let's see if we can take a look at this from Chris Akers' standpoint. Oh, no, it even happened behind him. It just looks like a... I don't. He got collected in the net. A driver came up, and I'm just not quite sure I understand what was going on there. Unfortunately, the caution's going to be out here once again, collecting a lot of fast drivers here at Daytona. Under caution, you're watching turn 1. Pace truck lights are up here for lap number 25 of tonight's American Sim Racing, the American Sim Racing Tour, right here on turn 1. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Fitz. This is, I believe, it's going to count as that stage break as well for these drivers. with Dalton Gibson, Nathan Harper, Chase Greer, Dalton, Blaine Dalton, Nathan Harper, Chase Greer, Dalton Gibson, Sean Stevens, your top 5. A lot of new names up at the front here after the 4th caution of the night. Under the lights here at Daytona, these Gen 6 cars proving to be a bit of a handful for these drivers here tonight. A lot of fast guys collected up in wrecks very early here. We'll see how that's going to shake out. Remember, they do have that one fast repair, but boy, again, we have seen a lot of fast drivers have to use those early. In the meantime, in the Geico restart zone, the green flag is back out, and the number 5 car gets them rolling here at Daytona. Blaine Dalton, Nathan Harper, Chase Greer, side by side as they roll through turn 1. Clean start from the 5. Everybody in the top 10 is mostly scattered out. No pack together here. That is a sign that I think a lot of these drivers know they have got a long way left to go here tonight at Daytona. Everybody just scattered out, minding their P's and Q's as the top 10 now starting to come together. This is super speedway racing. This is the style of racing these drivers should expect, but man, it has been tough for this ASR group here so far here tonight. Nonetheless, Harper, Gibson, and another caution's out. Looks like Frank Ranger in the wall. This may be a bit of a solo incident. Let's take a look and find out what happened to Ranger. Oh, he may have had some help there. Coming down the backstretch. He's going to collect a couple cars as well. It's going to bring out the caution here yet again. Under the lights at Daytona. As they get caught up with the pace truck. Nathan Harper, Dalton Gibson, Blade Dalton, Kirby Caputa, Chase Greer, your top 5. Let's get a word from our sponsors here. You're watching Turn 1.
Your
under caution here at Daytona, lap number 29. Let's take a quick look at the points here. With that win last week, Daniel Holloway, your leader for the American Sim Racing Tour points. But as we saw here, he's going to be stuck at Daytona. He's not racing here tonight, so we're certainly going to have a new points leader. Chris Akers, Sean Stevens, Anthony Poston, and Dalton Gibson, your top 5. Points going to be really critical here with finish tonight. Under the lights here at Daytona, who's going to come out victorious? Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're about 65 laps away from awarding a winner here at tonight's race. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for tuning in to Turn 1 as these drivers are going to get ready to get back green flag racing. I tell you what, this is a perfect example of some great coverage that Turn 1 can provide if you or someone you know is looking to turn their next race, live event, tournament, championship, and more into a really exciting broadcasted event. Feel free to give us a call here, or give us a message over at Turn 1. This is a fantastic ad for ourselves, but if you're interested in having elevating your race to the next level with a live broadcast across multiple platforms and hundreds of viewers and watchers and followers, head on over to Facebook and contact us here at Turn 1 today for more information. Out front, Dalton Gibson, Nathan Harper, Kirby Caputa, Blaine Dalton, Sean Stevens, your top 5. A really big mix-up in pit strategy here with this front group. Some of these drivers not down pit road since lap 20. Others come down here in the last opportunity to come. We'll see if that shakes out to anything over a green flag run. Pack racing and super speedway racing as a whole can lend itself to some fuel savings, but boy, if you're out front, you're going to have your foot through the floorboard. That does not mean, or does not give you the opportunity to save some fuel. Pace truck's going to come down pit road. And Harper, Gibson, taking the green flag back out here at Daytona once again, lap number 31. That high line collecting 4 drivers nose to tail. Everybody else fairly spaced out. We saw this in the last restart. Everybody just taking their time trying to find the right people to dance with. High line, low line, what fits for your driving style? What keeps you the safest? In the meantime, Harper on the outside has got the 7 of Gibson with the push. Kirby Caputa on the outside as well. Stevens, 4th on the outside line. Taking it nice and easy. They're going to roll through here, take lap number 32. I think some of these drivers got the message. It is time to just hang out. Let's do some laps. No reason to get too bunched up. No reason to get too crazy. As I say that, after about the top 6, all of a sudden we got a big pack of drivers back together here. Led by the 5 and the 38 there. And more cars down through the grass on the backstretch. The 11's going to be involved. Caution's out once again. Also looks like Russ Hancock going to be involved. They're going to get caught up here with the pace truck. Nathan Harper, Dalton Gibson, Kirby Caputa, Sean Stevens. Eddie Smith, your top 5. A lot of these drivers probably starting to, most of these drivers, I would assume, towards the rear here has already used up that fast repair. Everybody's just trying to keep it clean here. Get a couple laps under the belt. Not even halfway through, under caution for the 6th time here tonight. You're watching Turn 1. Paystruck's gonna duck down pit road. Harper, Caputo, your front row. Stevens, Gibson. Second row, green flag back out. And Harper out to about a 4-car length, 5-car length lead over that outside line of Caputo. Everybody's gonna just, again, another slow start for a lot of this leading pack, but we'll see if that materializes into anything. As these drivers, again, trying to get a handle on these Gen 6 cars. Been a bit of adjustment here as we're gonna have a little 3-wide action for second. That's the 7 car stuck in the middle. I don't think that's quite intentional. Now everybody's gonna move down and take over the 7. That's gonna leave the 83 out for the 33 of Smith there by himself, but he's gonna get tucked in line. I'm sorry, I was calling, that was 83. Caputo there, I was calling not the 33. In the meantime, everybody bunched up as these cars get back up to speed here. Lap number 37, the outside row of Gibson. He's going to have Osborne with him. That's the first time we've called Jeremy Osborne here tonight on the front row. Locked to the bumper of the 7. They move down to the bottom. Osborne loses the momentum, but the 27 is going to be there to catch him of Harper. I'm sorry, that's not the 27. That's the 07 of Harper. There we go. We're going to get some of these car numbers right here at some point. As our top 10 are our nose to tail, 2x2. The 77 up here for Smith as well for the first time. Up towards the front. These cars really, you can see how these drivers having a hard time keeping these Gen 6 machines under control. A lot of back and forth, a lot of instability in these cars, it seems, here tonight. In the meantime, the 83 and the 40 on the outside row, the 7, the 41, I do believe that is. Yes, it is. It looks like the 07 is going to go up high. The 7 is going to move up to block. It's Gibson trying to hold everybody back. Harper with a huge push, shoving him off into turn 1. That's going to let that outside lane really stretch out to the top 4. The inside line, nothing doing right now. The outside, nose to tail, your top 5. Down the backstretch. Firmly at pace now here, lap number 39. Everybody trying to hang on that outside line, led by Gibson, Harper, Caputo, Greer, Smith. Osborne sliding back on that inside line, trying to get some help here. He's going to start materializing, but this is not going to be anything until the backstretch. The 83 is going to slide down. The 7 is going to lose the support. The 40 is going to fill the gap. Caputo on the inside is going to bring the 41 with him. That's going to bring the inside line back to fruition. Side by side for the lead. Oh, the 7 really gets down on the 83. Nearly causes a big wreck on the front row. Able to hold it off. That could have been huge. Oh, a big checkup on the bottom again. I think it was Caputo as they were coming down the short chute there from 4 to the tri-oval. That's really mixed things up. They were able to keep it together, but everybody kind of off pace on that inside line. The 7 of Harper, or the 07 of Harper, the 7 of Gibson on the inside now. Those two leading the charge. Oh, we've got cars everywhere on the backstretch. We got a car airborne. And the caution's out once again. That's going to collect several cars. The 43 sitting across the track. We had a car airborne back there. That just shows you how unstable these cars appear to be here tonight, as we saw the 3 airborne there for a moment. Under caution here. Right at the halfway point. With Harper up front, Gibson, Greer, Smith. And Smith number 2. That's Sean Smith and Hunter Smith in the top 5. We're going to step away. You're watching turn 1. pace truck back down pit road. Green flag back out. Sean Stevens, Nathan Harper on the front row, leading them to the start-finish line as they come across stripe lap number 45 and 95. You're watching American Sim Racing Tour right here on Turn 1. Gen 6 car super speedway action. It's been a rough one for this group here so far tonight, but a lot of drivers left in this here. These Gen 6 cars seem to be a really big handful for these drivers here tonight. As we see the 27 of Stevens on the bottom. Has the 77 on the push. Here comes Gibson and the 07 of Harper on the outside line trying to make something happen. Roll through 3 and 4. We've seen a lot of incidences even on the straights, and especially specifically down the backstretch. Midway or so, places you wouldn't normally see incidents here at Daytona. You're seeing it all. A big checkup on that inside line. In the meantime, the outside rolls on. The 7, the 07, the 40, the 15, and the 77. The top, oh goodness, top 5, almost top 6 there, completely single filed out now on the outside, and another caution's out. Big wreck in the back. Couple cars, that's the 38. There's another car backed up against the fence there. Unfortunately, that is probably going to end the night for a couple drivers. Oh goodness, it looks like Akers may have been involved in that as well. Maybe he got it woed up, I'm not 100% sure. Dalton Gibson scored your leader there before the caution came out. This looks like it may have started with Ambrose Nebel. Let's see if we can take a look, find out what happened here. Man, just, I don't know what's going on there. These cars just look a little out of control, and these drivers really struggling with them. Oh, the 29 was able to get it woed up. Then didn't make contact with that car sitting across the track. Again, it just seems like they're just a little unstable, maybe a little light on the rear of these Gen 6 machines here tonight at Daytona. With Dalton Gibson, Nathan Harper, Chase Greer, Ethan Horst, Sean Smith, Hunter Smith, Blaine Dalton, Jeremy Osborne, Matt Binky, and Kirby Caputa, your top 10 here. Under caution now for the 8th time, lap number 48, or 47 coming to number 48. We're going to take this opportunity to step away once again. You're watching Turn 1. Dalton Gibson, Nathan Harper up front. So they get ready to get back. Green flag racing here on lap number 4. Well, go back. Green flag racing lap number 50. 15 and the 40. The 5 and the 11 making up the front 3 rows. And the green flag's back out here at Daytona for American Sim Racing Tour. We're starting to see a bit of attrition here through the cautions. We do have about 10 cars either on pit road or a lap or more down. In the meantime, these drivers up front swapping it back and forth. At 15 with a lead on the outside. The 07 of Gibson. I'm sorry, that 07 there of Harper and the 7 of Gibson on the inside. In the meantime, Dalton and Horst make a power move and go to the front on the bottom. The top 4 single file here. Riding the bottom as these cars unload down the backstretch. Up to speed they are here, lap number 51. Oh, the 15 down below the yellow line. Able to get it collected. Oh, big blink from that car in second place. Who was against the wall there? It's the 35, I believe. In the meantime, the top 6, single file on the bottom, all being led by Horst, Harper, Gibson, Greer, Smith. Osborne back there, and all of a sudden that outside lane, really nothing happening. But here comes the 83. The 07 may be having some connection issues. I think he's blinked 2 or 3 times here now. And meanwhile, the 11 riding on the bottom, thought about going to cut the nose off of the 83 on the high side. Didn't make the move. We got another car. We got cars into the wall. Able to, oh, we got a car in the grass now. Everybody kind of keeping it straight here. Green flag still out. Caputo's going to have a huge shove on that outside line. Can he hang on? That's going to be the 5 car with a big push. In the meantime, Horst, Harper, Gibson, your top 3 on the bottom. All but 5 cars in this pack on that bottom line, just riding around now. Lap number 54. That, the front pack was separated there for just a smidge. Now everybody's starting to kind of collect back up. Again, the top 6 or so, single file, more than that now, top 8. Single file on the bottom as they come down the backstretch under the lights here at Daytona. 15 car. Followed by the 07, the 7, and the 40 of Greer. Putting some laps in now. These drivers really haven't had more than a 7 or 8 lap green flag run on tires. We'll see if that changes how these machines handle. Again, these Gen 6 cars is the first week for Gen 6 on the schedule for this ASR group. Will this, or will tire wear become a little bit of a factor of the change in handling characteristics from these cars? Come into play, or are they able to hang on to it here for a little bit? 40 laps to go here at Daytona. We got a car down on the inside. I believe that's going to be coming down pit road. I believe that was that Sean Stevens? It was. Stevens down pit road. He hasn't been on pit road for, looks like a hot minute, so he's going to come down. Everybody else has been out for about, well, let's call it 14, 15 laps here. But again, this is the longest, I think, green flag run we've seen since the start of the race. I see a third line kind of starting to materialize here out behind the top six, but there's just really it's a bit of a different dynamic here with a lot of these cars either fronting damage or everybody just kind of really taking it easy here. The speed not in the pack as much as it was. Your top 5 single file, and then 2x2 for the top 9. Joseph Fogg, a name we haven't mentioned all night. He's sitting there back there in 9th, side by side. Matt Binky back there as well. A lot of fast cars here. Joseph Fogg actually just set the fastest lap of the race. Sitting back there floating around 9th. And then there's a second pack here with a 77 and the 42 all over each other back there. Boy, that looks squirrely. The 77 getting out of it. So they were having a really hard time hanging on to it there. Going back up front again, single file. Oh, another blink. That's a blink from the 7. Maybe it was the 7 that was having those connection issues. Again, the longest green flag run here of the night comes in lap 58. Everybody just hanging on and running some laps here. The 83 all over the 5. Oh, nearly makes contact with the 11. The 5 is going to be sideways and gets it collected. Really loose rear end off the nose of the 83. The 5 car able to hang on as they come down the front stretch. This top 10 or so here is separated from the rest of the pack. This is what I would consider probably the rest of the drivers that really don't have a ton of damage, all led by Ethan Horst. He's been up front here for the last, since really the restart with the push from Nathan Harper. Dalton Gibson sitting there in 3rd. Chase Greer, Hunter Smith, and Blaine Dalton. Jeremy Osborne, Kirby Caputa, Joseph Fogg, Matt Binky able to hang on to that draft there towards the rear. And then we go back here, probably about 20 or so car lengths. The 77 of Smith, Jeff Carl, DJ Madish, Frank Ranger, Guy Braco, Frank Ranger, yeah, that's the next pack. And then another pack of about 5, all led by Guy Braco, Robert Duvidek, Chris Akers, Carl Lingley, and a couple others. So we still have quite a few quick cars back here, relatively undamaged, just hanging out back, knocking some laps out here at Daytona as they come through turn 3 and 4. All but one car single file down the front stretch. That's Matt Binky on the outside. Using a little bit of a side draft, trying to get a little bit of position here, but really nowhere to go and no reason to go anywhere really in this top 10 right now as everybody again is single filed out. Now the one car of Guy Braco, he's caught up with that mid pack. Remember, this is the group, the 77, the 38, and a couple others. Well, Guy Braco and Rob Duvidek, Chris Akers. The pack that I would say probably been trying to hang on, not collect any damage. They're caught up with that group as Braco is going to now take the lead of that second pack. Is going to drag Duvidek with him. Chris Akers and a couple others on the toe. Now they'll need to start running down the lead pack. Really, they still have plenty of time to do it, but they don't want those leaders to get too far out ahead. It's about a 3.5 second gap all the way up here to the 5. of Blaine Dalton. We'll look at it right now. 3.8 seconds. Back to the second pack here. The 1, the 99, the 29. Lap number 62. Again, the longest green flag run here of the night. Coming in here, lap number 62 with American Sim Racing Tour. And turn 1, bringing you super speedway action here on a Monday night. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Fitz. Appreciate you tuning in. A nice reset here as the 15 continues to lead. Lap 63. Out front, Nathan Harper, Ethan Horse leading the pack. Nathan Harper on the push for the last 15 laps or so, working really well together. These drivers have not been down pit road for the last 20 laps. I suspect we will see them probably here, let's call it lap 77, 78, 79, around lap 80. 15 or so to go. I don't believe they have the fuel to come. Oh, there he is! I knew we were going to see some pit stops. They're going to go ahead and come down now. They must be in the window. Down pit road they come. In the meantime, that's going to leave Braco, Duvidek, Akers, Morris, and Lingley. Really, the only lead lap cars out. I just knew we were going to see some pit stops here relatively soon. We had to. But these drivers not being down pit road for quite some time, and here they come. 4 tires and fuel. Harper, Horst, Greer, Smith. We'll see what this shapes up for this this group led by the 1. It's going to be right about 20 laps on the nose. Some of those drivers in the front pack had not been down pit road since lap 40. This group here, Braco loud pit road last lap, number 48, Duvidek 47, Akers 47, Morris 48. So a lot of well, about another 8 to 10 laps here of options. In the meantime, Braco leading the charge up front. On the hunt to run down Harper, who is out by himself at the moment. And unfortunately, this group is really scattered out. That is going to slow them down dramatically. Horst, Greer, Smith, Gibson. Everybody's just kind of scattered out with this group. They're going to lose significant time to what I would consider the Fast 5 on track right now, led by Braco. Duvidek on the bumper, the 1. It's going to have the help of the 29 of Akers. And then that is the 8th of Morris and Carl Lingley there in the top 5. Russ Hancock coming down pit road. That is pitting from 6th. And there you are. The Fast 5 is going to come down pit road really under some speed, but the 1's going to get it slowed down. The 99 is going to do it the same, all smooth entry here for what I would consider, again, the Fast 5 on track right now. In the meantime, Nathan Harper is connected with Horst and Greer. I believe Hunter Smith is involved in this 5-car breakaway. He is. Fogg, Joseph Fogg, Dalton Gibson as well. This pack right here, I don't think they're going to catch the leaders on the backstretch. But this very well may just equal out here. And all that time that Braco, Duvidek, and that second pack had to make up over nearly 4 seconds, it's going to be all but dust here. As I think this is all going to blow out in the merge. Duvidek's going to come off pit road, your leader. Braco right behind him, and well, no, not going to quite, but it's going to be really close. They're still going to gain quite a bit of time. They're all going to merge on track. All led by the 07 here of Harper right now. Waiting for things to cycle out. Duvidek about 2.7 seconds behind. And the caution's out. The 77 coming across the track. Not sure what's going on there. And just after pit stops in the longest green flag run of the night comes to an end here, lap number 68. And unfortunately, this is going to collect Carl Lingley, Eddie Morris, Sean Smith also has show involved. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh, basically two incidences at once there. It looks like the 77 got into the back of somebody, and then the 8 also had an issue. Sean Smith just riding the wall here. I'm not sure that was necessary, but I digress. Coming back. Again, after a long green flag run, I suspect these drivers should have enough fuel here to get to the end. We may see everybody come down pit road, top off one more time. Going to be led by Nathan Harper, Ethan Horst, Chase Greer, Hunter Smith, Joseph Fogg, your top 5. See what this shakes out. As, yep, they're going to be waiting for the pace truck here before they come down pit road. Let's see if we get these takers. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see them come down and top off one more time. Yep, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Stops under caution. We're going to step away. You're watching turn 1. Pace truck looking to come back down pit road as we're going to get the 25 lap to go. Signal green flag back out. The 07 car gets them rolling here. Harper, Greer, Ethan Horse, Hunter Smith, Matt Binky here. Well, Matt sliding back a little bit. That outside line, pretty tight knit. The inside, not so much, but the outside really not there yet with the 40 car. Greer now up front pushing the 07 of Harper. Here comes the outside line, all being led by, I believe that's the 37 of Joseph Fogg on the outside, coming through 3 and 4. Fogg's going to have the push from Gibson. Can they make that outside line work? In the meantime, the 07, the 40 on the bottom, the top 5 single file. Whoa! Fogg nearly into the wall off the nose of the 7 of Gibson. As they roll through turn 1, that outside lane, check it up hard. In the meantime, basically the top 5, top 6, top 7. All single file on the bottom as we see, I believe that's Fogg move to the bottom there. Binky trying to find something to happen on the outside, trying to pull a couple cars with him. We see Caputo really make a dive ball for the bottom as well. Drivers having a hard time maintaining these Gen 6 cars tonight. It seems like the handling is just really giving them a hard time here. Nonetheless, that inside line, top 4 single files, they all jostling back there for 5th. That outside line trying to materialize, but right now can't do any better than 5th place. Single file now, the top 6 on the bottom. Everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's here as they come back to the front stretch to come across the stripe. 21 laps to go with the American Sim Racing Tour. Right here on Turn 1 Motorsports, bringing you super speedway action at Daytona next week. They take the Gen 6 over to Dega for a good old run of Alabama, trying to improve on the racing we've seen here tonight. If we stay clean and green, I believe these drivers can make it all the way on fuel just enough. We saw everybody kind of come down pit road. I believe that was topping off with fuel there under the last caution. In the meantime, let's look back here. That's the 38 car on the inside. And the 69 car on the outside. Duvidek's back up here. See the 7 back there mingling with the 99. The 29's back up here. A lot of the faster drivers we've been talking about over the last couple weeks starting to materialize here late in the running. Without that caution, it would have been really interesting to see how that pack led by the 1 of Braco, who, by the way, is currently sitting 16th. And others would have got caught up here. But a loss will be 5 green flag laps as they come across the stripe. 19 laps remaining here at Daytona. We haven't had the opportunity to do it. We just saw the cautions happening, but let's try it now. See if we can ride on board with one of these drivers here tonight. Just see how difficult these cars are handling. Let's ride on board with Dalton Gibson in that 7 car, shall we? A wild ride on board with a couple of these drivers here as they come down the backstretch with 16 laps remaining. Rode on board with a couple folks. You can tell how difficult it was to hang on to these cars while also getting big runs. The 77 car going to be a lap down, going to slide out of the way here. Cruise around on the apron in the meantime. Out front's Harper, Greer, Horst, Smith, Gibson on the outside. Dalton trying to get a bit of a run here. Looking for a little bit of help. But nothing's really materialized on that outside. Top 4, single file on the bottom 3 car, gap to the double wide for the next 3 rows. Everybody just hanging on, letting some laps continue to tick by. 14 to go here at Daytona. That's 7 car on the high side again, looking for a decent push here. The 99 to Duvidek was sliding up. I don't know if he was if he may have intended to move up there in front of the 7. Maybe try to partner up, but no. Duvidek's going to have a pretty good push on the bottom. And the 7 is finally going to give up on that high line. It's going to lose about 4 spots. Move back to the bottom. That is pretty much going to single file out our top 10. Come down the backstretch. The 07 has been out front for quite a while. If we were going to be talking about fuel concerns, that is the driver I think we'd have to talk about. But right now, out front, and Duvidek. Oh, we got a couple drivers. We were just speaking of fuel concerns. A couple drivers coming down pit road. Oh, the one's going to get into the 99. The one's going to end up biting it in pit road. In the meantime, a bunch of other drivers have come down. Braco's going to get it squared back up and moving in the right direction. Pit stops underway. Here with 12 to go. So I was talking about fuel concerns, and clearly that is going to be a factor. With Harper, Greer, Horst all staying out here. And Frank Ranger coming down pit road all by himself here. So Duvedek again had a little, I think he had some contact for the one on the right side there, maybe just light contact. But he is partnered up with 3 cars. They will need some something drastic to happen here for that to materialize, for them not to run into any trouble here. With Harper out front, coming across the stripe, 10 laps remaining here at Daytona. Do they have enough fuel? Are they going to have to stop? I imagine if they do not have to stop, it is going to be extremely close. On fuel. That 40 car of Greer. Right to the bumper of the 07. These two have looked pretty stable. The 40 been mostly offset, about half a width of car here off the back of that bumper of the 7. These guys have been mostly single file here for the last 8 or so laps. No takers down pit road. Single file, top 10 coming to the stripe. 9 to go. This front group starting to spread out. I wonder if we're going to see some stops as they come down the front stretch here. Yep, we sure are. Big drive up through the field. The 29 trying to gain a couple spots on that inside. Oh, the 40 nearly comes to a stop. The 15 has to check up. The 29's gaining spots on pit road. He's going to be the big gainer here. That's the rest of the field coming down pit road. 8 laps remaining. In the meantime, Duvedek's going to cycle out as our leader with everybody else on pit road. But this 3-car group here, they've been pretty tight. But I suspect they are just barely going to catch the tail end of this lead pack group. In the meantime, Harper leads off pit road. Dalton Gibson, Ethan Horst, Russ Hancock, Hunter Smith, Joseph Fogg. Where did Chris Akers cycle out in this? He's going to cycle out 10th. A little bit of a slower stop than I would expect. We saw Akers gaining spots on entry. Driving in pretty hard. He's going to drive right to the bumper of the 38. As well as you see Duvedek and crew. They're all just going to pick right back up. This is going to blend in to be one big pack, all led by Nathan Harper in the 07 car. Dalton Gibson in the 7 machine, up front as well. Oh, Gibson's going to come down pit road. Oh, no. That is going to end the night for the 7. Harper all by his lonesome. Here comes the 15 of Horst, followed by Russ Hancock. And then about a 20-25 car gap, then led by the 11 of Smith, Fogg, Greer, Caputa. And then we need to really watch out for this 99, this 29, that group back there. They've got it single filed out. They've got time to run down this lead pack here with 7 to go. Harper's going to be in some trouble if they do not get this front group kind of materialized and into a organized manner. The 99 is going to catch that mid pack here pretty quick. 20-25 car gap splits between these 3 groups as they come across the stripe. 6 to go. A 1.3 second gap separates 3rd and 4th. We'll pay attention to that as they come across the stripe here once again. See if that shortens up a little bit. In the meantime, Duvedek making quick work on that outside line. On the move, the 99. We called that. We knew that was going to be a factor. He was going to catch this middle pack. Now can they get organized in enough time to run down the leaders? 5 to go. So that last time by, that gap back from 3rd to 4th only shrunk by a 10th. We're going to continue to watch this. Again, this pack, can they get organized enough to run down a 3-car lead group here? Harper needs to see it stay green all the way through. He does not want to see a caution. He also wants to see that 15 car stay right with him as much as possible. Taking a look back, this pack not organized enough to catch our leaders. 4 to go. No big gains here of mention. 1.4 seconds back. The 11 car having to go to the apron there. In the meantime, the 7 and the 15. 3-car breakaway. This could be a big upset with this front car pack. In the meantime, Duvedex looks like he's got 3 cars kind of parsed out there, then the 29 on the bottom as well. Starting to put together a bit of a run on the bottom. I think it's going to be too little too late. They're falling backwards now. 1.8 seconds off 3rd place. 3 to go. 3-car breakaway. Now it becomes all about strategy with these 3. Can they hang on? Obviously, no point in trying to push the issue. They need to keep the speed up. Don't let that gap shrink as it did coming down the backstretch there. They lost about 2/10. We saw a pretty big gap in the 7 car, so the 07 slowed way down. Now, oh, look at that second pack. Single file. They're on the hunt. 1.1. 2 to go. Can the 99 get there? Now under a second. That inside power, that backpack on the move. The 07, the 15, the 340, they're going to be in trouble here. Duvedek on the move. That gap now 1.3, or I'm sorry, 0.3. He is there. The 99 on the move on the high side. Single file, the second pack moving down the backstretch. This is not what the 07 wanted to see. The 99, the 15 is going to run the 99 up the track. Able to avoid the collision, and the 07 is going to move up. Try to block the 99. The 99 is going to get turned into the leader. White flag is out. Duvedek takes a ride through the grass. Able to keep it straight. White flag is out. One more time around here at Daytona. The 11's going to get into the 83. Got some cars wrecking back here. Duvedek's going to slide through it. But I don't think we're going to see the 99. In the meantime, Morris now finds himself up front. Akers out of nowhere, P2. The 29, the 8. I think we've heard this story before. Nose to tails. They come out of turn 4. The 29 is going to go high. It's going to be a drag race down the front stretch. Race winner, Chris Akers takes Daytona. What a finish. With the 29 there, Chris Akers. Russ Hancock in the 343 going to squeeze out a second. Eddie Morris going to bring home a 3rd place finish. Kirby Caputa, Jeff Carl, your top 5. Nathan Harper, after what was a dominating race performance, going to bring home 6th. Ethan Horst, Robert Duvedek, P8. Chase Greer, Joseph Fogg, your top 10. What a really wild race finish here with the American Sim Racing Tour at Daytona. We're going to step away for just a moment and bring you some post-race coverage. You're watching Turn 1. Another wild finish in the books here at Daytona for the American Sim Racing Group, and we're going to talk to race winner Chris Akers. Chris, congratulations on what a wild race overall that was, but more importantly, the last lap pass there for the win. Talk about coming to the white flag. Did you realize, or did you have a thought at all that you'd be towards the front there coming out of turn 4?
No, man, I messed up my pit stop so daggone bad, I thought I wasn't even going to be close. And then Doobie and them come by me, I caught on to them, and I knew with the 3 or 4 of us hooked up that we could probably run down leaders. And shoot, we made it work. I hate Doobie got took out there at the end, but when I was behind Morris, I already pushed him to a win. I was like, this is my time, boy. And so I had to drop out and get him.
Chris, we saw tonight really a challenge with a lot of cautions here this evening and a lot of incidences. Talk to me about, from a handling perspective, was this Gen 6 car just something different tonight? Was there something about the way these cars were working the track?
They were, like, as soon as you got out front, it seemed like they were bricks. They were really hard to push. They were moving all over the place. You might be able to see that in the broadcast where they just, as soon as you got up high, it was just hard to get the cars actually moving as soon as you got to the front. And I think that could create a huge challenge for guys behind, because you would get stacked up every time that you had to let up for the front 2 cars to reconnect. And that created stack ups, and that created people running over each other, and it's just a snowball effect from there. So.
Well, you know what? He said it's his turn tonight. Chris Akers bringing home the victory here at Daytona. Chris, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. With that, we're going to head on over to the 343 of Russell Hancock. Russell, congratulations. A top 3 here tonight after it's all said and done. That's got to feel pretty good. With 5 to go, it looked like that front 3 pack may have had something. You guys were fairly organized and had about a 1.5 second lead on that second pack. Did you guys think you were going to be able to hold them off, or did you know that steam, that train was coming down the track? We done set Russell up there perfectly, and we may be missing him.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry.
Oh, there he is.
No, I thought we were sitting pretty until I heard Chris and Doobie say that they were teaming up, and they were coming up quick. They caught us really fast, but it was good because I knew I had a teammate coming up there. So once Chris got up and I could get behind him, I was sticking with him all the way through to the end.
Yeah, we saw, obviously, once they really got up there, that pack got pretty broad there with 2 to go. You know, talk to us from a perspective of just trying to keep the car underneath you, spending all night working through these cautions. Did you know you had the ability? You just needed to stay on that bottom line and ride it out. What was your game plan there with 2 to go?
Game plan was just trying to stick on the back of somebody's car and not turn them. I know just a little bump too much going in the turn will send the car flying. But no, I'm happy with the finish. Happy working with the team, and thank you guys for the broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you. Again, a solid finish here tonight. P2, Russell Hancock, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And with that, we'll move on over to P3 here tonight. Eddie Morris. Eddie, out of nowhere up front there at the very end. What did it take to kind of materialize that top 3 there towards the end?
It was definitely that last strategy call at the end, I think, that bailed us out. Bailed me out for sure. Got behind somebody that obviously couldn't take a push in the corner and stuff, so had to get by them and just keep trucking away, and ended up almost having a shot at this thing, man. So yeah, can't argue with that.
No, you really can't. Coming down the backstretch, it looked really, really promising there. Obviously, super speedway racing kind of, you don't really want to be leading at certain times. When you got down into 3 and 4, was there anything were you thinking of anything you could have done differently to block the 29 from making that pass?
No, not really. He pushed me to my win for the first race of the season, so hopefully after here I'm going to ask him if, we're kind of even, since I didn't throw some stupid block. I mean, I could see that move was happening, man. Just the big push down the backstretch. He was setting it up the whole time, and I wasn't going to make a stupid move and wreck us both for sure. I'd rather take a top 3 or whatever the case may be instead of a wrecked race car. Take the points and go on to next week.
That's right. We'll see you at Talladega Chevy 123 with Eddie Morris bringing home P3 here tonight. Eddie, congratulations.
Appreciate it, man.
And with that, we're going to wrap up race coverage here tonight Been an eventful evening for the American Sim Racing Tour, guys, but that's okay. It happens that way sometimes. But guess what? They're going to re-rack it and run it back next Monday night right here on Turn 1 over at Talladega, the heart of Alabama. We're going back, and it's going to be a wild one. On behalf of the league admins here for the American Sim Racing Tour, I appreciate you tuning in. Chris Akers with a solid finish here. Bringing home the trophy at Daytona. I'm Sean Fitz, and this is Turn 1 Motorsports. We appreciate you tuning in, or Turn 1 Broadcasting. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you